morning. I know we out here angry, but this is what being too black, too strong looks like. It look like standing out here, that's resilience. That's called resistance. Loving on this family is called black love, black resilience, black resistance. This is what it looks like to be black and love each other. This is what it looks like. I love you.
My name is Jasmine Abdullah. I'm the founder and core organizer with Black Lives Matter Pasadena. I'm a core organizer with Black Lives Matter, the national chapter. I'm from Pasadena. I grew up in Pasadena. I was not born in Pasadena, but I came here when I was about 7 years old, and I've never left ever since. I was growing up in Pasadena. It was awesome growing up here. I grew up on Los Robles and Orange Grove in 608s. And when I was younger, I remember everybody being family. I remember being able to come outside with no money, but walking up to all the way to Woodbury, being able to eat, have food, have water, have whatever I needed, you know what I mean? I love growing up in Pasadena. I love my friends. All my friends that I grew up with, we're still friends to this day. Pasadena is just a beautiful place. It's my home. I got involved in gangs because, man, gangs was the ones that showed me love, man. Like I said, all my friends are still my friends to this day. And I actually would not have graduated high school if it wasn't for somebody named Big Bad Luck. Big Bad Luck used to tell me, man, when school hours was in, you can't come over here. You gotta go to school. And so literally that's how I graduated high school. It wasn't because of my mama. My mom was at work all day. My hood was the one that showed me love. My hood was the ones that when I was in the house and things were going on in my home, I could run outside and my friends was always there. So that's why I joined the gang, because my gang was my family. Well, me and my mom, you know, it's always gonna be a rough patch with your parents, right? Because we never want to hear what they have to tell us, even though it's something significant and substantial that can help us in our life. Back in the day, my mom used to smoke. She used to be on drugs. So I, as her child, I always had animosity towards her. I always harbored this hatred and anger for her, because to me, it felt like she wasn't there. And so I always looked at the glass half empty instead of half full, that now my mom has 30 years clean, and my mom's been clean and sober for her family and for herself. Back in the day, I wasn't able to see that. I was just able to see that all this shit was happening to me in my life and you wasn't there. And so now I'm looking at it like, well, all this stuff is going on, but by the grace of God, she's here now. And even when my brother got killed and stuff, my mom didn't relapse. She's showing me what true resilience and resistance means. And for that, I'm grateful and I'm thankful. So that's why our relationship is a little better. It's because I'm seeing the woman she is, and I'm seeing the woman God has made her. And I actually like that woman. I want to be like her. When Mike Brown was killed, I know you guys seen what was going on in Ferguson. I remember myself in my house, and there was, I think they had tear gas the whole community, and the community was rinsing tear gas off of this 7-year-old girl's face. So I remember myself being angry. I was like socking the walls and stuff, and I didn't know what to do with that frustration. And then I had got a call that said, do you want to go to Ferguson? And I was like, damn, hell yeah. It was a freedom ride. And I heard of freedom rides before back in the day, but I never knew that I could be on a go on a freedom ride. So I got in that van with those young black folks from all over the country, and we was going to protest what was going on in Ferguson, but also show the folks in Ferguson that they sparked something in us, that they made us want to rise up like them, and we wanted to just go be with them. So Ferguson, the freedom ride to Ferguson, we went through 7 different states. We went through Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas. We went through all type, Utah, and on our way to those states, on our way to Ferguson, we had received so much racism. Like, there was so much going on. There's like, the police was doing, not the police, but folks were doing their fingers like this as we were in our vans. We wrote on the van windows, we do this for the mamas, right? And Black Lives Matter. And as we continued our freedom ride, we had people saying, no you don't. And I remember this one time we went into I think we went into Wendy's, and the other group went into Taco Bell. And it was the first time we was able to eat and sit down and eat on the whole ride to Ferguson. And when we got in there, there was a family that came in, a grandfather and his grandson. And he asked his grandson, how did you count all of them? And I remember myself saying, man, what do you mean all of them? We're not cattle, we're not sheep, we're black people. And the elders that rode with us, they said, man, it's time to go, because y'all know in those times we ain't supposed to talk to nobody like that. And so I remember all of us coming out of Wendy's crying, and then the other group was coming out of Taco Bell crying. And they were crying because an old white man had said, I hated being in Vietnam War with niggers, because all they did was do drugs. So at this time, all of us coming out of both these restaurants crying, we were realizing that this is the first time that we had come into overt racism, and how that felt in our hearts and our minds. It hurt. It hurt to be powerless. It hurt to not be able to sock the shit out of somebody. But what Ferguson taught us was everything that we learned in Ferguson, which is the resilience, the resistance, the community, we were going to bring back to our homes. So the Freedom Ride to Ferguson was healing. It was black folks taking our power back. It was young black people going there saying, whatever I learned in Ferguson, I'm going to bring back home. And I'm going to let my people see that we've been going through racism in California all our lives. It's just been overt. Like out here, instead of a white person calling you a nigger, you'll get a whole group of white people. When you get in an elevator with them, they'll clutch their purse, or they'll cross the street. And that's letting us know that they scared of us. But it doesn't do anything to us because it's subliminal. But now what I'm trying to do is show folks that this is going on, we have been seeing this, and that it's time to do something about it. Alright, well, BLM Dina Youth Group, right, is a safe space for youth to come explore, talk about what it means to be black, what the feelings that are going on their heart and their mind. Because what I've noticed is that in our community, we all like to talk at children, but none of us like to listen to the children. And when you listen to these children, you'll realize that they got a lot going on, and B, they feel the same anxiety and depression and turmoil that you feel, and that they're actually trying to take on all of your feelings and all of your frustrations and make it better for you. So what we've done in Black Lives Matter Pasadena is we created that safe space for kids to be able to come to and just vent, heal, talk to each other. We do things like restorative justice, so our children can know how to handle their problems healthy. When they go at it with each other, we sit them down in a restorative justice circle, and we do the talking stick. And we tell them to talk about what that person did to hurt them, what that person did to shift their feelings towards them, and how can we find a solution, and what can we do all together to make it better. And ever since we've been starting this BLM Dina Youth Group, the kids come to us and they tell us what they want to do. And so that's why we did this summer Freedom School, because the kids came up to us and said, Jasmine, where did we come from before slavery? They honestly didn't know that they came from kings and queens. So we started BLM Dina Freedom School just to give them that little concept and that little education on who they are. And freedom, a free space, because in the parks today, they can't have a free space. When they sit in the park, the police come and they run out the park. And so I made it my duty to make sure that these kids have I made it my duty that these kids have a safe space, whether it's in the park, whether it's down the street from their homes, wherever they want to be, we make sure that it's safe. The biggest misconception about Jasmine is that I'm hard-headed. I don't want better for my community. I'm here trying to stir up trouble for the kids. Kendrick McDade. Now let's be real. This ain't the first time this has happened. This is just the first time we decided to stick together. Right? But this ain't the first time it happened, y'all. They're notorious for this. The Pasadena Police Department is notorious for killing folks and covering up murders. They are used to occupying this community. They are used to bullying this community. This is something that they are used to.
They are used to pushing us and making us do what they want. But this time we say we will not be moved.
Yeah, those are the biggest misconceptions that I've heard. And I just want people to know that everything that I do is from my heart and that God tells me to do it. If it wasn't for God, I would be sitting down just like everybody else, complacent. And I would not be having felony probation, you know what I mean? Ever since I started organizing, I've been targeted. I've had the police follow me, harass me, assault me, threaten me. I've been fired from my job. I've been kicked out of my home. So literally nothing good for me has come out of this.
My name is Abdullah. I'm an organizer with Black Lives Matter, and we were here struggling for a fair sentence. A fair sentence for Jasmine Abdullah, aka Jasmine Richards, who was convicted of felony attempted lynching. We had over 1,000 people out here today struggling for a fair sentence. She was sentenced to 90 days in county jail. We were pushing for no jail time, but the possibility was up to 4 years in state prison. So we know that we won a modest victory, but it's not over. This is not the victory. So we're going to appeal the decision. We are still pushing to free Jasmine Abdullah and all political prisoners. And we're taking this as a charge for us to redouble our efforts to free black people, to engage in the struggle for our liberation.
Like, beneficial, I mean, except for being able to see the kids smile and being able to see the kids say thank you, Jasmine, because if it wasn't for y'all, we don't know where we would be. And it's not even that I'm doing this work for thank yous, but to hear the kids say that is letting me know that I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? It's letting me know that God has me. I'm listening to God, and I just want people to know that my footsteps are ordered, and they're ordered by God. And for all those that are the naysayers, I want you to second guess who's having you naysay. Like, pray on yourself and your discernment, because God is moving me, but who's moving you?